Hello. Welcome to another episode on Conversations with Tosin. My name is Tosin Toluwaloju. And this is your first time here. I want to sincerely appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. And if you are a returning subscriber, know that I love you and I appreciate you. I want to encourage, especially to our first timers, that you join the family by subscribing and also turn on the notification bell so you can always get notifications when we post a new video. So today we're going to be looking at imposter syndrome part 2. I had the part 1, where I talked about what imposter syndrome is. I shared my experience. I talked about the types of imposter syndrome. I also talked about how to know that you have imposter syndrome. And what else? I think that was basically what we did in the part 1 of imposter syndrome. So today we're going to be looking at the characteristics, managing it. How do you manage imposter syndrome? So one of the characteristics that I have here on imposter syndrome is constant self-doubt. And then you might want to say that you talked about, I think you talked about it in the part 1. The part 1, I just talked about how you should know that you have imposter syndrome. I was just, talking randomly. But now, what are the characteristics of imposter syndrome? So one is self-doubt, where you are constantly doubting yourself, doubting your abilities, knowing that you are really good at this thing. This is your field, this is your area of expertise. But for one or two reasons, you keep doubting yourself. It's a characteristic of imposter syndrome. Secondly, is that the fear of you won't live up to expectations. I used to be here. That was one of the things, one of the things that held me back from YouTube, from the media generally, like even on my social media handles. Right now, I think my post is not frequent. I post regularly on socials. I talk about some of the things that I do. I don't used to do it because I feel like if I start this thing, what if someone just gets me one day and say, "I Tosin, can you do this? Will I be able to live up to expectations? Will I actually be able to defend all like these things that I put up there on social media?" Not like I don't have the ability. I have it in me. So, it's it's something that I just had this fear in me. So if you have it, or you used to see this play in your daily life, it's a characteristics of imposter syndrome. And I do really hope that you start working on it, like right now. Thirdly is when you always berate your performance. Yes. You always downplay and always talk down. Like they rate me like, let me speak pidgin English. They rate the thing wey you dey do. They rate am at all. But now, how you don't go rate it you dey do? You sabi talk, you know rate yourself. When it comes to organization, like make person sabi organize things, they rate yourself. Like why? Like why? There's some persons that they are naturally blessed. When I mean naturally blessed, they are naturally blessed. Like when it comes to organization, they are really good. When it comes to planning, they know how to plan. That's their area of expertise. But they don't see it as anything. They don't rate them. So please rate your abilities. Know that you have ability in this thing. You can do this thing. There is no other person that can do it than you. 100% complete. You will do it perfectly. Do you understand? So persons who berate their performance might be like they may have imposter syndrome, and it's a characteristic of imposter syndrome. And lastly, that I would say is that about the impact. I just want to open our eyes to the impact of imposter syndrome is that for some persons, imposter syndrome can spoil motivation for them. Like they want to push, but then one of the things that I discovered while I was doing my findings was that imposter syndrome can serve as motivation, right? But it comes with anxiety. You become overly conscious of yourself. You're not relaxed. It's one thing for you to be relaxed and you are aiming for the sky, right? But you're not under pressure. Do you understand me? You're not under pressure of any sort or anything. You're just relaxed. You're just there, making sure that you're doing all that you need to do. You're enjoying the growth process. You're enjoying all of the things. Do you understand? But you see persons with imposter syndrome, they do it with fear. They are overly conscious. They are anxious, and you know that anxiety is not good for your mental health. So you know what this does? It tells on their mental health. And any little thing, they are easily depressed. If, for instance, they missed something, or they feel like they immediately, if they were on Sky 10 or Sky or Sky 20, like I hope you understand, like if they're really, really high up there, right? Because they have imposter syndrome, and as a result of something that maybe is a mistake or something, they come straight down. Like the way they will fall so flat. They will just go from 10 to 0. Why? Just because they have imposter syndrome. It comes with anxiety, and that's the bad thing about it. But if you don't have imposter syndrome and you just naturally want to, grow, yes, you are okay, you appreciate yourself, you don't berate your performance, you would embrace it with all joy. That's one of the impacts. That's one thing that over, like from my study, I got to, understand. So the cost of it is that it comes with it comes with your mental health not being in place. Do we get? So I'm going to talk about causes. What are the causes of imposter syndrome? Why do people have imposter syndrome? Like what actually makes us have imposter syndrome? One is family upbringing, and I will explain this. You see, family is everything in this life. Oh. In this life, family is everything. So if you're a parent and you are watching this video, I want you to like listen to this particular point like very well. It can be family expectations from family, protective parents, high level of conflict and everything. Let me explain this. Now, so for maybe your dad or your mom or something, like they're like, you came second in your class, eh? Who took first? That person, does the person have 10 heads? You cannot take first, Abby. You now came second. Second. What happened to first position? Does the person, like, first and foremost, can you not acknowledge the efforts of that child and look at the percentage grade and say, wow, you did so wonderful, like Victor. I am super proud of you. And I know that next time you would do well. I believe in your future. I love how intelligent. Like, can you not start with an appraiser first, like, commending the ability of that child first. See, by doing that alone, the child already knows that if you can give him that commendation for coming out second, the child knows that when he comes first, he or she comes first, you would shake the world for him or her. Do we understand? So when you go the other way around by trying to, in the name of motivation, that Nigerian parents will do that a lot. Especially let's say we are not yet a parent, but Nigerian parents they do that a lot, and I don't intend to join them because I'm gonna be a different, I'll use a different parenting style, just like the example I gave. So please commend the ability of that child first. The child will understand that, oh, I need to, and it's not going to come with any pressure. The child will just enjoy it because my parents already praised me for coming second. It means that if I come first, they're going to do you understand? They just want to, it's going to come naturally. So parents actually contribute to this factor, and also conflict in the family. Like the father and mother, they're not together. They're always having, like, it affects the child's mental health, and the child starts thinking, "Will I be able to have a good family? See my dad's family, they're always quarreling. My parents are always having issues. Will I marry the right husband? Will I also have issues with my husband?" Like they're afraid. Fear start creeping in, and they sometimes not try to be what they are not. They become so afraid to launch out. Do you understand? So please, parents, family as a whole, let's it's one of the if I is the number one cause for imposter syndrome. Let's work on it, and let's check on the mental health of our children, also ourselves too. Yeah. Secondly is new work or opportunity. So on this note, I'd like to say that sometimes it's normal to have a feeling of an imposter, but you can work on it immediately before it grows and it takes the whole part of you. So when you're trying out something new, when you just get a new opportunity, especially one that you've never done before in your entire life, like in the whole of your existence, you've not tried it before. It's normal for you to feel like an imposter, like how. But then, take yourself together. Like, I've not done this before, but I can learn on the job and I will do it excellently well. Why? because I was chosen for this. Like, I was actually chosen. So for them to actually choose me to do this particular task, it means that they've seen something in me and I can actually do it. It means that I have the ability to do it. Do we understand? So I'm giving us solutions while explaining the cons. Yeah, so like I said, new work or new opportunities can cause imposter syndrome, and especially when people are going through transitions. Yeah, personality, low self-efficacy. That is the lack of believing in oneself to succeed in any situation. You know, you don't just believe in yourself that you'll be able to succeed. It's a cause of imposter syndrome. Another thing I have is perfectionists. The perfectionist kind of persons, like, they just want the thing 100%. If it's not 100%, it's a no. I'm talking to you. Change. Not like imposter syndrome to take the whole part of you, name of you want 100% every time, every blessed time. Please. Okay, I would like to note that I'm not trying to talk down on the place of excellence. No, I'm just trying to say that you should embrace yourself. Do you understand? So coping with imposter syndrome. How do I cope? How do I manage? First is, what core belief do you hold about yourself? What are the core beliefs about yourself? What do you think? What's the perception of you to you? What's the perception of you to you? Secondly, is, do you believe that you're worthy of love? Or let me just read it the way I wrote it in my notepad. Do I believe I am worthy of love as I am? Some people, when you start showing them love, see, they start feeling like they don't want to believe that they could actually be shown love. Like, what do you want? Actually, so coping with imposter syndrome, one of the ways is that do you believe that you're worthy of love? I think yes. It's a question that you should answer. You should believe. Then another thing that I would say is, must you be perfect for others, or must I be perfect for others to approve me? Must I be perfect? When you're able to answer all of these questions, it would help you to best manage imposter syndrome. I repeat the questions again. What core beliefs do I hold about myself? What core beliefs do you hold about yourself? Do you believe that you're worthy of love? And do you believe that you have to be perfect for others to approve of you? When you answer all of these questions accurately, it will help you managing imposter syndrome. Another thing, so moving on is one, I would encourage that you share your feelings. Share your feelings with people, talk about it. This is how you feel, this is what you think. Secondly, is focus on others. What are people saying about you? Like, what are their thoughts? Accept it wholeheartedly. And also believe that that is what you are. Thirdly, I have is assess your abilities. Sit and ask yourself, what can you do? Oluwatosin, kilo le ṣe. Like, wetin you fit do? I wish I can speak Igbo Hausa. And so if you're watching this video and you can speak Igbo Hausa, please translate, or any dialect, in French self, translate in the comment section. Take baby steps. Take baby steps. It's okay for you to feel like a fraud the first time, but no, you're not going to stay there feeling like a fraud every time. Take the baby steps. Question your thoughts. When you start having that feeling, question yourself. Why am I feeling like this? No, I can't feel like this. Stop comparing yourself with others. Stop comparison. And use social media moderately. I said something about the fact, I think it was in part one, I talked about how that I look at people in the media industry and how that I'm not even as good as they are. And, I feel like a fraud. I feel like I'm not doing enough and I'm not good enough. So why should I be, putting myself out there? I need to learn. I need to keep learning. I used to tell my mentor that I really need to grow. I need to keep learning. But then, and it's like, I think we are okay like this. Like, you're not like you're okay, but you started well. Just no pressures. Do you understand? So please, and that's because I was always on socials, and the pressures of seeing other people, what other people are doing. Yes, it comes to me as motivation, right? But it's coming with pressure and making me feel like I am not good enough. Do you understand? Meanwhile, it should come with the motivation that makes me feel like, it means that you can do better. You're actually good. You're in line. Do you understand? So please, If it to mean that you have to stay off social media for a while or you have to regulate the use of social media, please do. It would help you. Then stop fighting your feelings. Please don't fight your feelings. It's okay for you to have feelings like that and everything, but don't fight it. Just let it be and work on yourself. Then refuse to let it hold you back. That feeling of imposter syndrome, don't allow it hold you back. Do not allow it hold you back. Do you understand? While you are feeling like that, take that step, take that move, work on it. And lastly, see, if I did not mention this particular point, even God in heaven will be angry with me. So, isn't this last point? I need you to listen very well. You know, I've given you all these aspire to aspire points and all the whole, like, I've been talking like a therapist, that means like an emotional, like a counselor. Anyway, please and please, the last point is talk to God about it. Yes, listen, come closer. You see all of those points I've given you. If you don't talk to God about it and talk to Him about your feeling and accept and see yourself in the light or in the way God has created you, you've not done everything. In fact, you've done just 30%, or let's just dash you 50%. And 50% is not even a B grade, it's a C grade. C is the average. And we need an excellent, we need an excellent you. Do you understand me? So talking to God and having a relationship with God and share your feelings with God and say, Father Lord, help me to overcome this thing. I don't want to feel like a fraud. I want to see myself in the light that you have created me. And you have created me perfectly. You have given me, excellence. Excellence is in me. I have the wisdom of God. So I cannot feel like a fraud. I cannot downplay my abilities. Like, because God has deposited so much in me. Do you understand? So talk to God about it. See yourself in the way God sees you, and I know that you'll be able to overcome imposter syndrome, because that was how I was able to overcome it. I hope you've learned something in this episode. Yeah, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Share with your friends. Till next time, don't forget, the name is Tosin Toluwaloji, and it's Conversations with Tosin. Share to your friends. Preach the gospel of Conversations with Tosin. I will see you in my next episode.